Hello, and welcome back to some more Star Citizen content today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. So this is my final thoughts on the L-21 Wolf here. This ship here has been really fun to fly around with. So I'm gonna actually start with the pros and cons here in my video. So starting with the pros, what I like about this ship, what I've over the weekend flying this around and testing it, I love the design of this ship. This gives me like the N1 Starfighter vibe to it. The was the Mandalorian ship, like the components right here that are exposed in the outside of the ship, the exterior. I think that's very nice touch to it as well. So the design of it is beautiful. It's great. I love it. It's very zippy. It's very fast in the track. I did some racing of this ship as well on some racetracks and did some kind of in combat. I noticed how quick it is, especially the pitch. So if you're trying to move up, it's got a really good pitch speed as well on this too. So it's fast. I like it. It's a beautiful ship. It's Yeah, actually, that's about it. I can think about it for the pros of what I think about this entirely of the ship. So I like it a lot. Price point wise, I think it's a good price point of the ship for Warbond. If you're getting it fresh out of cash, $90 is a fair price to ask for something like this. $100 in store credits. That's where it's gonna land at after Warbond is over for this ship. And the next patch, typically they don't offer the offers right for the Warbond. So $90 to pick it up for that price. I think that's fair. Store credit for $100. That's, I think, borderline like the max I would say that they can put the price point for this ship. So price I think is fair for this. All right, so let me go ahead and move on to the cons on this. So besides everything I mentioned that's beautiful and how I like flying this ship, it feels really good to fly it. The cons on this are the weapons. That's just a deal break for me. If I don't have customization options for my ships, I on that really kills my interest for ships. So I don't like bespoke weapons. That's a pet peeve for me. Another ship recently I reviewed and checked out was the Meteor. The same thing that the size 5 guns. Not a fan of that. So anything ballistic, so you're stuck with. So it's got two size 4 weapons here. It's got size 4 Gatling gun right there, and it's got another size 4 Gatling gun right here. That just does not work for me for this ship here when I'm trying to do combats and enjoy doing dog fighting when I'm trying to do some bounty contracts. If it's MRTs, HRTs, I'd like to typically change and play around of weapons and test out, see what's changed in patches, what they've improved or nerfed, buffed and nerfed. Uh, yeah, so this one I'm stuck with the weapons. I'm just not a fan of that for the Gatling guns. They do have 4,200 for the 4,200 rounds for each gun. So for the bullets, so it's decent. It's decent amount of ammo. I would say for bespoke guns that you're stuck to, I would prefer maybe a little bit more ammo for the ship. I don't know, maybe like 10-15% more ammo capacity because there's no way currently in the game how it's set up that you can actually just reload these weapons on here. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the weaponry and also the missiles. So the missiles are actually right here. And if you notice the missiles right here, they're size ones. And that's just bespoke on the ship as well. So that is missiles on here that you can customize them. You can have EM missiles, infrared missiles, that kind of stuff, cross section missiles. You can still switch all that out, but you're stuck with size ones. That's not that big of a deal for me. I actually prefer size ones because they just do more damage and it's more missiles. So if people uh, flare, you have to deploy flares and your missile is not going to be able to hit the ship, you know. The missile knows where it is and knows where it isn't. You know that famous video. But yeah, I just God, the missile's not that much of a big deal to me. It's just more the size for weapons on here that's a con. I just wish that maybe they can compensate that with increasing the damage, because my thoughts on this when using the weapons on here. So it feels like to me when I was testing this over the weekend doing combat testing on this, it just feels like that the weapons on here for the size force for whatever the numbers they put in, I don't know at the top of my head, I don't remember what the numbers are for these size for ballistic cannons here. Not cannons, sorry, ballistic Gatling gun here. So for the guns, I just feel like to me personally, something just needs to change on the guns on this ship. Something needs to change on this ship. Just something needs to improve on this ship. For me to even consider buying this and keeping in for the ships that for me to pick up and keep. I either think that they need to increase the ammo count on this thing slightly more so that you have a little bit more ammo out in the field, so you actually don't have to keep going back and forth to stations to rearm. It gets tedious after a while, or increase the damage of these ballistic guns, because you're stuck with ballistic cannons. Like I mentioned, you cannot change them out. It is what it is when you pick up the ship. I don't like it. It is what it is. Something's got to change to them to improve. So I feel they're just slightly underpowered. But yeah. What else do I have for cons? Oh, and the fin. That's right, the fin. So probably should have kept notes on here, but no, I'm just going off the top of my head everything I can think of. That's just I just automatically don't like about this. But the fin. So there's a fin that I don't like, and I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. That's underneath this thing. I guess I can pop on the ship and show it just one last time if I have. Sure, actually. Okay. I do like the animation when you walk in the ship. That's pretty cool. That's another pro. But the con is also the fin. So this thing right there at the bottom of the ship, I am just not a fan of. I think they call it a keel in the Q&A when they were building this ship. But yeah, that doesn't look good. I'm not a fan of that. I hope they fix that maybe one day in another patch. Just, yeah, currently not a fan on this thing. I just left the engines on. Let me go actually and turn those off. Oh, actually, well, might as well. I'm looking at these. I like the engine design. That's cool. Again, I'm going over design the ship. But yeah, in terms of cons, yeah, that's everything pros and cons I can think about this ship currently at the moment. So I don't know. We'll see. If they improve some things on this ship, I'll consider maybe picking it up in game, testing it out. But yeah. So with that out of the way, there's a couple of things I wanted to show you as well too on this video. I'm thinking of my final thoughts of this ship when I'm wrapping up after my weekend playtest of this ship and seeing what it's like in combat. There's a few other options. So if you're like me and not totally happy about this ship, the way it's designed, and you want alternative options for the war bond that you picked up at the ship for 90 bucks and you regret it, or if you bought this store credit for 100 bucks and you regret that, there's some other options. So let me go over those for the other ships. So you could pick up this ship. This is right here, the Anvil Hawk. The Hawk is a beautiful ship. It's an older design ship, and it's got it's a light fighter, and it's actually got, I believe, 6 different weapons on here. We'll go in here and check it out in here in the pilot seat, but it's got 6 weapons, I believe. It's a beautiful ship. It's also got a EMP component on here. So the EMP, you could use that to disable a ship. Let's see. Yep, it's got 6 weapons. Okay, so it's got 4 Panthers, or it's got 4 laser repeaters. It's got 2 distortion cannons to help disable the ship and bring the shields down a little bit. More of the laser repeaters are doing that anyway, but yeah, that's the everything I'm going to show you here for the rest of the ships. These are all just default builds for the ships, but yeah, it's also got an EMP component on here. So what you do with that EMP is typically take down the shields of an enemy ship, uh, initialize the EMP, and click the to send the EMP pulse, and that typically will help disable the ship when you're doing that on here. But yeah, that's the interior of the ship. It's pretty cool. I like it. Okay, let me get out of here. And one more thing about the Hawk. So the Hawk also comes with, let's see here, a prisoner pod. So not a feature in the game yet. The bounty hunting version 1 or version 2 or something like that has to be, I think, installed. They had to update and work on at the dev team on here. By the way, it's talking about bounty hunting. Where's my Zeus MR CIG? Zeus MR? Bounty hunting? Work on it, hopefully soon. Anyways, it's got a prisoner pod, so typically if you disable a ship and you got a bounty hunting contract, got a person that you want to go ahead and lock up, you can put them in the pod here, and this just closes back up, and they're in the pod right here. They're training for the bounty. So this one, the Hawk is $100 on store credit. Yeah, it's $100. That's right, $100 on store credit. So if you pick the ship up in game, not in game, sorry, but at the website, you can pick up in the website for like $100. It's also for sale in the game. I forgot how much it was, but yeah, beautiful ship. I like it. It's got a lot of options to it. The next one I'm going to suggest is the Talon, an alien ship. Not fully alien, but, alien ship. It is with 2 guns here. It's got, these are also 2 size 4. So I picked this one because this one has about the same loadout and similarity towards the L-21 Wolf. So this one here, you can do full customization. You can customize the weapons to whatever you want. By default, like I mentioned, all the ships I'm showing, these are all just default loadouts. By default, this is, I believe, a laser cannon. They're size 4s, and you got 2 size 2 missiles here. You can switch out as well too. They're all size 1s. This here is actually one of my favorite ships for light fighters. I like this one a lot too, and it's stealthy, so it's got a lot of stealth tech into this ship for components. And there's the other ship in front of me that I'm going to talk about here in the next couple minutes. That whole the whole front window is actually pretty cool. It's actually, I think, a screen or something like that. Let me see if I can find the button for it, but I think it's very cool. So it's around here somewhere. Viewport, is that what it is? Yeah, that. I think that's pretty cool. Alien tech, right? Yeah, that's pretty sick. But yeah, this is the interior of the ship. It's got 2 size 4 weapons. It's a beautiful ship. You can swap out the weapons if you want. The rhinos, I believe, the laser guns. So you can have those if you want, or if you want to keep the cannons, you can definitely do that. If you want to go ballistic, you can do that as well. But yeah, very beautiful ship. This one is priced on the website for 115, so it's a little bit more expensive. But if you want something that's stealth tech, that you can lose your target within like a kilometer distance, just average about, from what I was told the numbers with the stealth tech, you can pick up this one here if you like. This one's a good one I would recommend as well. If you're into stealth technology, you want to do customizations to your ship, this is one I would recommend as well too. 115. This is the Talon. The next one that I'm going to talk about is the famous Gladius. This one here is loved by the community of this ship, and it's also a ship that's fought, featured in Squadron 482. It's, I believe, what your pilots you're in the main campaign of the story. This is the ship that you're going to be flying around mostly in the campaign, from what I was told, and from the footage I've seen in Squadron 482. Beautiful ship. I like it. So it's got size 3 guns all over this thing. It's got one back here. It's got another one here. That's a ballistic Gatling gun. Another one here. Missiles. You can swap out the missiles to size ones if you want to do that. They're on missile racks. Customization. I love it. I'll step in here, but yeah, a lot of people like this one a lot. This has been their choice for PvP, and also this ship too. You can pick this up in the store actually, pretty much anytime you want. It's always available, and you can get this for like $90 currently. And I haven't seen the price change on this ship, so it's safe to say that it's gonna stick around for $90. It's a good ship. This is the interior of the ship of what it looks like. So it's got MFDs pretty much everywhere. 4 screens here, but yeah, very cool ship. Yeah, loved by the community, and I almost said computer. Yeah, my computer loves this ship a lot too. um, yeah, I recommend this one as well too. So only because of this, it's highly, for a light fighter, it's highly loved by the community. It's $90. War Bond for the L-21 Wolf is $90 as well currently. So if you haven't picked up the Wolf, or if you picked it up, you want to melt it, and you're looking at other options for a light fighter, this is a good one too. I'd recommend as well. I don't actually have a favorite for which one I would choose. These are all 3 options. I would say around for the price range and for what you're looking for, just for something in your budget. Exception the Talon, I would say for the Talon, if you want something that is similar to the Wolf that's got size 4 guns, the Talon has size 4 guns, and you can change those guns to anything you want for laser cannons, ballistic cannons, or laser repeaters. Commonly, people typically have this thing with laser repeaters, so I believe they're called rhinos on here. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I could be totally off. I think they're called that. But yeah, full customization. It's great. Love it. Customize the missiles too. It's a great ship. It's stealth tech, alien ship. It's got feathers like the birds here, the style of the ship. A little bit pricier on the price range. Still recommend it. This one, $100. Equals the store credit value of the L-21 Wolf. So if you just got the store credit for the Wolf, if you're looking to change the ship, you can get this one. This one's pretty cool as well. I believe these are size 2 guns all over this ship, and it's got 6 of them, so it's got a lot of guns on this thing. And it's also got that bonus EMP component that I was talking about as well too, so that's a very valid option to look into. But those are my recommendations, I would say, for my final thoughts. I Man, I really, really wanted to love this ship. I really did. Man, I love the style of this ship. I really do. Everything about this, and the outside and the interior of the ship is beautiful as well. They got everything right on terms of the looks of this ship. It's great, except the keel, that fin at the bottom, that needs to go. Or at least I need a button to retract that in the future patch, please. If you're not gonna remove it. Let me at least like stow that somewhere while I'm flying, so it looks bad. I don't like it. But yeah, this is something that man, it looks so great too. It's just that N1 Starfighter look to this ship, and the exterior and everything that I commented about earlier just is great. and looks at this ship. It's just those guns, man. It's just those guns. Something needs to change on this ship. It's fast. I love the speed of the ship. It is quick. Forward boost. When you're trying to go pitch, it's pretty fast when you're trying to go straight up. When you're trying to maneuver around corners and racing, this is a good ship here. Actually, I think they mentioned about another variant on this in the Q&A, so I believe they are going to be working whenever they want to. No promises, but I believe they're working on another variant of this ship. I think they're going to be working on a either another combat missile boat, or it's going to be a racing ship. I don't know. So we will see. Be cool to see another racing ship, I think, in my opinion. Something faster. That'd be cool, so I could race around the racetracks. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, I mean, I would totally keep this if it just wasn't just for those damn guns on here, the ballistic guns. They actually did this too recently for the Meteor. That ship for the Meteor had the size 5 ballistic cannons on that ship, and you're just stuck with those, which I wasn't a fan of. I actually love that design for RSI for the Meteor they took from the Mantis. It's just a shame that, you know, you're stuck with the guns that for the size 5s. Another ship that I didn't plan to keep after testing it over the weekend, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, after testing over the weekend of this ship, my final thoughts on this. Yeah, I won't be keeping this one around for really maybe for the extra day or two just to fly around the race around the track maybe, but that's about it. You know, it can hold its own in the battle if you're trying to work on MRT bounties. It can do some of the HRTs. If you work, I did a test video on this against a Caterpillar. I came across an HRT, and this does not have enough firepower by yourself solo to take out an HRT contract with a Caterpillar, on my experience. So, large ship, large cargo ship. In a way, it kind of makes sense. I get it. So you're gonna have to pick and choose HRT contracts when you're doing bounties with this ship. MRTs, you can do this all day long and just make money off of this ship of MRT contracts to grind up. That's an option. But yeah, those are my final thoughts on this ship. I love it. It's quick. I just, yeah. Anyways, it's just those damn guns, dude. If they just let me customize the ship, I would probably consider honestly picking this one up for Warp on, but it's just that customization option. I don't have it, so I'm disappointed by that. It's a great little ship. Yeah. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you thought this was helpful information, give me a like. If you enjoyed it, leave me a comment below. If you thought that I'm totally wrong about this ship, that, oh my god, Danvers, you're an idiot, you have no clue what you're talking about, please tell me that in the comments, or if I'm actually somewhat right about this. If you love this ship, there's nothing wrong about that, nothing wrong whatsoever. If you love it, keep it. I'm not here to tell you whatsoever that you need to change out this ship and get rid of it, not at all whatsoever. If you enjoy it, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, if you didn't, I showed the other options. There's some other options in here for standalone pricing that I showed earlier for, yeah, those ships that I mentioned how much they cost on the RSI website. You can trade in for store credit. But yeah, anyways, I think I'm done with this one. Yeah. But yeah, I will catch you on the next one.